Good evening, everyone. Kelly, thank you very much for that warm introduction. It's indeed an honor and a privilege to be with you tonight here at the White House Correspondents Association dinner. Members of the press, welcome to the White House Correspondents Association dinner. Tonight, we come together to celebrate the enduring relationship between politicians and the media and the timeless tradition of comedy. As your president, I am honored to stand here before you with a mix of humility, humor, and dare I say, a dash of self awareness. They say laughter is the best medicine, and after a day in the Oval Office, I could certainly use a hearty dose. Before we embark on our journey through the realm of humor, let us acknowledge the elephant in the room, or in this case, the politician who occasionally stumbles over his words. Yes, that's right. It's yours truly, the man of the hour, your commander in chief, and the target of countless memes and late night jokes. Behind every successful president, they say, is a strong team. Well, in my case, I'm just here for the snacks in the Oval Office. The peanuts are great. But let us digress from the topic of snacks and address the dedicated journalists covering me, including Kelly O'Donnell from NBC News, who also happens to be the current president of the White House Correspondents Association. It's Kelly's dedication to her craft and her role as the WHCA president is truly admirable. She navigates the ever changing landscape of the White House reporting with grace and integrity. And her leadership sets a shining example for journalists everywhere. I must commend Kelly and her colleagues for their tireless efforts in bringing truth to light, even in the face of formidable challenges, whether it's navigating the complexities of White House press briefings or braving the Texas heat during the summer. Kelly and her fellow journalists never waver in their commitment to delivering accurate, timely news to the American people. Now, let's get on to the logistic acrobatics that I often perform in front of you. When attempting to pronounce foreign leaders' names, and you've heard me mispronounce them numerous times. After a long day of diplomatic engagements, it's akin to navigating logistic minefield, blindfolded with pronunciation traps, lurking everywhere, at every turn. I've been known to turn Macron into macaroni, and Putin into pudding. Who knew diplomacy could be so deliciously confusing? But let us not dwell on my verbal flux or the challenges of the presidency. Instead, let me regale you with a funny story from my time in Texas. During the summer, now picture this, a hot, sweltering day in the Lone Star State, with temperatures soaring higher than my Texas pride. I decided to hit the golf course, thinking I could handle the heat like a true Texan. Little did I know, I ended up sweating buckets and turning redder than a ripe tomato with every swing I took. But despite my less than stellar performance on the golf course, I soldiered on and determined to conquer the Texas heat, one stroke at a time. Let's just say my golf game may not have been up to par, but my resilience certainly was. And speaking of Texas, let's not forget about the infamous ice cream incident. You see, I love ice cream. I am a big fan of it, and decided to sample some local flavors during a local stop at one of the local. I keep saying local, don't I? But one of the local ice cream stores. Let's just say I ended up with more ice cream on my face than in my stomach, much to the amusement of everyone present. But let us not dwell on my culinary misadventure or my golfing escapades. Instead, let's focus on the indelible spirit of the press, tirelessly striving to uncover the truth, even in the sweltering Texas sun. To Kelly O'Donnell, the journalist in the room, and the entire White House Correspondents Association, I extend my heartfelt gratitude for your dedication to holding me accountable. It's truly commendable, even when it results in headlines that give me pause. But hey, at least I can always rely on late night comedians to provide a humorous spin on my gaffes, assuming I can manage to stay awake that long. Let's take a moment to appreciate the inaccurate dance between politicians and the press. Where trust is earned, facts are scrutinized, and the stakes are nothing short of the future of our nation. And if anyone holds me, I'll be, if anybody needs me, not holds me, but if you need me, I'll be in the Oval Office, honing my microwave culinary skills and contemplating which meme to unleash upon the world next. In conclusion, my fellow Americans, it's both a privilege and a pleasure to be here tonight. Let us raise our glasses to democracy, to the freedom of the press, and to the enduring power of laughter. Cheers to each and every one of you. Let the festivities commence. And really, before I end tonight, I really want to say a thank you to each and every one of you who cover the White House speech. I know how stressful a job you have covering this beat, especially with a guy who switches the schedule as often as I do. You'll wake up on Friday morning sometimes thinking you're headed to Texas, and the next thing, we're headed to Camp David. Or we are going to stay in Washington for the weekend, and 2 hours later, we're headed to Andrews Air Force Base, headed to Texas. So I do appreciate you staying along for the ride, you doing your job, the White House Press Corps, everybody in this room here tonight. I appreciate your job and appreciate your honesty and holding me accountable for the mistakes I'm making. And trust me, I know I make several mistakes. I'm not. Oftentimes, people say, I'm not. I get comments about my speech. Sometimes they say you're great at what you do. You're great. You're a great orator. Other times they're saying, "What did you say?" But I appreciate you guys for keeping me accountable for that and for the job you do. So, again, may God bless you. May God bless our troops. May God bless the United States of America. Thank you all very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.